Hello and welcome back to the channel. Recently I showed a picture, I think a couple of days ago. I showed this picture of these two little boys on the screen. The image you're seeing right now is a cut-off version of the article that I shared that had a caption that read underneath the article, "And the boys." Okay, I shared that a couple of days ago. So I'm asking what really happened to this little boy. Were commenters correct? I think they may be. So I had a viewer share with me a color version of this image, and she gave me her opinions on the image as well. And she asked if I could talk about this again based on, what a lot of commenters were saying under the picture. First of all, I want to show where I got the picture from. Fannie Lou Hamer, I guess there's, let me just put that up on the screen here. There's a page on Facebook. It's Fannie Lou Hamer's America. I don't know who manages the site or the page at all. But if you look on the page, there are a lot of images like this. I don't know how far back that one dated, but a lot of people have shared the image. So it's probably way back in the archives. But as I'm scrolling through, just kind of want to give you an idea of what is on Fannie Lou Hamer's page, or the page that is dedicated to her. As you see, there are a lot of very interesting black and white pictures on this page. And so that was one of them. And this one is kind of similar, but quite different, because you're looking at two black boys who are very clearly alive. But anyway, what was featured in that image, I think is look at that little cutie right there. I think it's very, very clear what the viewers were saying is quite possibly, and look at those little fellas right there. Look at that. Okay, let me get back to the story at hand. What I am talking about is the image of these two little boys. Now, something very strange happened after I posted this. It was something very strange going on with the posting. YouTube initially deleted or disabled comments. And I said, how did that happen? They did it, because I didn't go in and disable the comments. And so I went back in and I enabled the comments. And then I went back and I saw that they were disabled again. And so I thought that was strange. And so here's the next thing that happened. I got this notification from YouTube. It said, YouTube, remove your content. In this case, they removed the image. It says, hi, redirecting. We wanted to let you know our team reviewed your content and we think it violates our sex and nudity policy. We know you may not have realized this was a violation of our policy, so we are not applying the strike to your channel. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. It says, however, we have removed the following content. It says, the thumbnail on video, what is really happening in this strange picture? So that's the title. So they said they were removing the thumbnail, in which the thumbnail was the image of the two little boys, right? And so then I go back. I just want to show you all this notification that I got from YouTube on that image, right? I thought it was strange that I got it, because they are saying sex and nudity is the reason why they were removing the thumbnail. And so then I go back to my YouTube, and they even restored the thumbnail. And so I said, this is some strange stuff. So it makes me wonder if this is an image that is well known in a certain community of what really happened in the picture, because YouTube jumped on it so fast. I mean, it was quick. As if someone may have reported this and said, you might want to get this out of here. And so as I look closer at the picture that was sent to me by one of my viewers, it was a color picture. That didn't look like dirt. And keep in mind, again, as I stated, I shared this picture because I got it from the Fannie Lou Hamer page, in which not she, but those who control the page, they show a lot of old black and white images, up-to-date images and stories and things of that nature as well. And so I shared it, I read the caption, and I must be quite frank with you, quite honest here. When I saw that some commenters were saying that the little boy did not look like he was asleep, but that he looked like he was deceased, that it did look like that to me as well. But in the video, I said I'm going to go along with what the caption says, and my narrative was based on what the caption said. And those of you who watched the video, my narrative was this: that if that little boy was asleep, that little white boy looked very, very alarmed, very, very afraid, as if he thought something was going to happen to the little boy. But based on what many of you said, I can agree that something probably already did happen to this little boy, and that the eyes of the little white boy shows that he is in shock. Someone else said it looks like this was a prop, that the image was a prop, a photo opportunity to make people believe that something happened that didn't happen. Now, as I stated in the previous video, only the people who are related to the individuals in this picture truly know what happened. Only they really know what happened. But based on the history of this country, and how our people have been treated in this country, it is quite possible that what many of you were saying is true. It is quite possible. Like I said, the color image didn't look like these little boys were dirty with dirt, as the caption tried to imply. And sometimes we look at these things and we just don't want to see it for what it is. But anyone who follows this channel already knows, based on our coverage of history in this country, we are under no illusions at all about where we are and who we are dealing with. As a matter of fact, we produced a whole documentary series on the subject matter. Some of you may not follow our ministry channel. Some of you are secular viewers, and so therefore you're not into the ministry part of our channel. Even though this is a continuation of our ministry, but I deal more with subjects that show or draw the connection between us and the people of the Bible, and other people and their actions against us as the people of the Bible. I deal a lot with that. I like to draw that connection so that people can understand that all of this was prophesied. But anyway, back to our documentaries. We did a Whited Out series that talks about the history of our people and the other people of the world. And Whited Out Part 2 is actually called Background Check on the White Man, where it talks about, and it lists, and most of the talking and most of the information presented comes from so-called white people talking about their history and their dealings with the rest of the world. So we are very clear on what they are capable of doing. For those of you who said that I clearly am a person who just loves white people and don't want to see what they do to us, and you think that my interpretation of that image was because I'm fooled by white people, and that is clearly not the case for anyone who has followed this channel for any length of time. I'm fully aware of our deeds, I'm fully aware of their deeds, and I'm fully aware of the deeds of people in this world, period. I cover subjects on many different topics dealing with many different people. I realize that enemies come in black and white. So for those of you who had that assumption, no. That's why I talked about the fact that this little boy, if the black boy is indeed asleep, I talked about the fact that his friend there, or the little white boy in the image, knew what his people were capable of. So that alone shows you that I know that these people are capable of doing these things, because look at what happened to Emmett Till. Look at what happened to the Georgia 4, the girls who were blown up in that building. Look at what happens today to Mir Rice. Look at what, these are the types of things that we highlighted in our documentary, Whited Out Part 2. We highlighted the fact that these things have been carried out by people who have a perpetual hatred for us. So this is why when it was said to me that it looks like the little boy might be deceased and not asleep, I have no argument there, especially after looking at the color version of this image. I think you all are correct that he doesn't look asleep. And I remember thinking that when I first saw someone say that on Facebook, that he doesn't look asleep. But getting the caption from Fannie Lou Hamer's a page that's dedicated to her, that possibility probably went over a lot of people's head until it was stated that the little boy looks like he may be deceased. And the color image, in my opinion, in which I can't show it to you because YouTube will not have it. They won't have it. As a matter of fact, the site is heavily censored. It's heavily censored. Many of you think that we go through and just delete your comments, and you're upset by that. And as I've explained many times before, that's the reason why I say keep it tight and keep it right, because YouTube is not playing. YouTube, they have censored even my comments on my own channel. My post on my own channel. So, keep it tight and keep it right is a statement that basically says, be careful of the wording that you put in the comment section, because their algorithm system picks it up right away. I don't know this for a fact, but I don't think it's someone sitting there saying, let me get that comment out of there. I really think that they have a system that automatically banishes it, because that's what happened. I put a post on my channel twice. And I know what word it was, but I'm like, people say it in their videos. So why is it that I can't post it here on my community tab? As soon as I put it up, I went back. A couple minutes later, the post was deleted. And so I said, did I press send on this? So I posted it again. I posted the same thing again. And I went back. It was deleted again. So there was a trigger word in there. Okay, there was a trigger word that, again, people say in video, but I guess you can't put it in typed print. The algorithm picked it right up. You see? But again, back to this subject, it is very clear. I mean, we can't say for sure. Like I said, only the people that are related to these individuals know. I wish there was some way we could research. I don't know how far back this image was taken, but the little black boy, he does look like he is deceased. And the little white boy looked like he's in shock. I agree with that. I agree with that. Some of you said that you've already seen this image and it's been circulating for a while. But my take on the image about the little white boy being protective is because I know the history of his people. I know the history of his people and what they are capable of. They wouldn't have cared that this was a little 5-year-old black boy. You see, they would not have cared. And any of you who any so-called white person who looks at this and you are offended by these words, this is the reality that our people have lived in for so very long. This is the reality. And it has not stopped. This type of treatment has not stopped. As a matter of fact, that's another part of biblical prophecy. The scripture not only said that they would have this perpetual hatred in them that would burn within them forever, but it said also that they would not give any regard for the old or the young, male or female. Meaning they're not going to say, oh, he's so young, I'm not going to bother him. Or she's so old and frail that I'm not going to bother her. It said that they wouldn't have regard for the old or the young. This is why we can hear stories of one of our seniors in their 80s being gunned down like an animal. and the person feeling justified in doing so. But on the flip side of that, we will see their own people on video attacking them, putting their lives in danger, threatening them, and they handle them with kid gloves. Is that not true? Is that not the truth? So when the truth comes forth, only those who can't handle the truth get offended. Only those who have the disease of Wedico or the spirit of racism on them can't handle the truth. You shouldn't get upset when you hear us talk about these things. If we look at this image, whether the boy is asleep or dead, both narratives are true. If he is dead, then this photo op was meant to deceive. Because if he is dead, that means they put him there next to this little white boy to get a picture to present false narrative to the community. And if he is asleep and this little boy is wide-eyed like this, if that narrative is true, why is he wide-eyed with his arm around this little boy? Because he knows the little boy's life may be in danger, because he knows the adults with whom he deals with. He knows. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. I did think again that it was very strange that YouTube sent me this notification about this particular video. Could it be that they know something for sure? Could it be that someone heard it through the grapevine already about what's happening in this image, and they didn't want any focus on it? Could that be? Because you know, blood cries out from the ground. It does. And there is a lot of blood crying out from the ground all over this world. And I wonder who spilled that blood. I'm done with this video. In the comments section below, remember to keep it tight and keep it right, but until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.